Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we bring you the latest news and updates from around the world. We have a packed show for you, with stories that will inform, educate, and maybe even surprise you. Let's start with a story from Africa, where Ugandans have been voting in a tense national election. President Yoweri Museveni, who has been in power for over 3 decades, is seeking to extend his rule into a 5th decade. The election has been marked by violence and an internet shutdown, with the authorities citing concerns about misinformation. Museveni, who is 81 years old, has been campaigning on a promise to maintain peace and stability in the country, as well as to lift Uganda into middle-income status. However, his opponent, popular singer Bobi Wine, has been appealing to young people who are frustrated with the lack of economic opportunities and the country's slow pace of development. The election has been widely seen as a test of Museveni's strength and his ability to avoid the kind of unrest that has rocked neighboring countries. The United States has previously denounced Museveni's victories as not being free or fair, but it's unclear whether they will take a similar stance this time around. As the votes are being counted, many Ugandans are anxiously waiting to see what the outcome will be. Some have expressed concerns about the potential for violence and unrest, while others are hoping for a peaceful transfer of power. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you updates as more information becomes available. In the meantime, we want to hear from you. What do you think about the situation in Uganda? Should President Museveni be allowed to continue in office, or is it time for a change? We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're diving into a complex and ongoing situation in the Middle East, where a U.S.-backed deal aims to bring peace and rebuilding to the Gaza Strip. The plan, announced by President Donald Trump, involves a phased approach, including a complete ceasefire, the exchange of hostages and prisoners, and a significant influx of humanitarian aid. As part of this initiative, a 15-member committee of Palestinian technocrats, led by former Deputy Planning Minister Ali Shaith, will oversee the governance of Gaza. Mr. Shaith has outlined an ambitious plan to clear the estimated 68 million tons of rubble and unexploded ordnance from the territory, with the goal of rebuilding infrastructure and homes within 3 years. He even suggested pushing debris into the sea to create new land for Gaza. However, this optimistic timeline may face significant challenges, including disagreements over disarmament and the deployment of peacekeepers. Hamas has refused to give up its weapons, and Israel's military still controls nearly half of the territory. Despite these hurdles, the formation of Mr. Shaith's committee has received support from Hamas, which is engaged in talks with other Palestinian factions in Cairo. It's essential to acknowledge the complexities and uncertainties surrounding this situation. The United Nations estimates that rebuilding Gaza's shattered homes could take until at least 2040 and possibly much longer. As mediators navigate these challenges, it's crucial to prioritize the needs and well-being of the people affected by the conflict. We'll continue to monitor developments in the Middle East and provide updates as more information becomes available. For now, it's clear that the path forward will require careful negotiation, cooperation, and a commitment to finding lasting solutions. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we wrap up today's show, let's take a look at the latest developments in international relations. In a significant move, Japan and the Philippines have signed 2 new security pacts, aiming to strengthen their cooperation in response to rising regional tensions. The agreements, which include an acquisition and cross-servicing agreement, will enable the swift provision of supplies and services between their militaries. This development comes as both countries seek to bolster their defense relationships amidst growing concerns over regional stability. The move is also seen as a way to counterbalance the increasing influence of other major powers in the area. Japanese Foreign Minister Toshimitsu Motegi signed the deals in Manila, marking a significant step forward in the 2 nations' strategic partnership. It's worth noting that these agreements are part of a broader effort by Japan and the Philippines to enhance their security ties, following the landmark Reciprocal Access Agreement that took effect earlier. This cooperation is likely to have implications for the regional security landscape, particularly given the current geopolitical climate. As we consider the potential impact of these new security pacts, it's essential to recognize the complexities and nuances at play. While the agreements may contribute to increased stability in the region, they also reflect the ongoing competition for influence among major powers. In conclusion, the signing of these security pacts between Japan and the Philippines is a significant development that warrants attention and analysis. As we continue to monitor the situation, it's crucial to approach the topic with a balanced perspective, acknowledging both the potential benefits and challenges that arise from such cooperation. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.